You're telling me right now that Colby Covington can't beat Joaquin Buckley? Joaquin Buckley, the same type of guy that we would have criticized Colby Covington from building his resume against. You know, like the entire resume of Colby Covington is built around Joaquin Buckley type fighters. And now you're telling me all of a sudden, oh, of course Joaquin Buckley's going to KO Colby Covington. I get it. He didn't look the best in his last fight. I know he's old, he's getting aged, he hasn't fighting often. But you're telling me that Colby Covington is going to lose to, let's be honest here, a journeyman in the UFC? A middleweight contender? A guy that came into the welterweight division and fought majority strikers? A guy who was using his own wrestling against the welterweight division? A guy who isn't even known for being a wrestler? Coming in and KOing Wonderboy Thompson, KOing Vicente Rigdeluque, and that big tall Russian dude whose name is escaping me right now. Alex Morono as well? Like, you're telling me because he beat these kind of guys, he's going to beat Colby Covington now? Get a grip of yourself. Colby Covington has made a name for himself, beating on-the-feet strikers with power in their hand that don't have the best. I mean, maybe Buckley does have good wrestling, you know? But this American, what's this thing? He's got the biggest arms, whatever. American steel and twisted sex appeal. Colby Covington, I think, is going to, not ragdoll, but I think he will be controlling Joaquin Buckley en route to a 49-46 decision win. I do think at some point Buckley maybe catches Colby Covington, but let's be honest here. Colby Covington's striking isn't the worst, and his chin isn't the worst. He's got the chin of the United States of America. He's got America's chin out by his corner. You know what I mean? Like, God has given him the gift of having a really, really good chin. The type of chin that can take shots from someone like Masvidal, get dropped, get right back up. Something that can take shots from Usman, get dropped and survive. Colby Covington can survive these strikes. He has the ability to just not get hit like he did against Tyron Woodley. He has that ability. He can go back and forth for a few strikes. And we're not going to act like Joaquin Buckley has this one-punch KO power where he's just catching everybody. He caught Wonderboy. We get it. Wonderboy was scared of the takedowns. He got taken down a few times or attempted to get taken down. And he actually stuffed a lot of those takedowns. What is Buckley going to do against Colby Covington? I understand Colby Covington, the more soy body of the two. He looks like a dried up prawn, as he accused Volkanovski of being once upon a time. But this is Colby Chaos Covington. What are we doing here? I bet you anything, once he beats Joaquin Buckley, the comments on the social media will be exploding with, oh, well, it's just Buckley. Unless we're forgetting, he did lose to Chris Curtis. He did have losses to Kevin Holland. Does that mean we think Kevin Holland is high level? Come on, Colby, beat someone above you in the rankings. Shut your face. If Colby Covington pulls this off and you're someone that's saying, oh, Colby's done, he'll get KO'd, then after this fight, acknowledge Colby Covington for being a great fighter. I won't. Actually, no. I mean, he is a good fighter, but I'm not someone that's going to be going out there and saying, oh, well, you see, this is why Colby Covington is at the top of the division, only losing to the champions. No, I think there's other people that could beat Colby Covington. I just don't think Buckley is going to be one of them. Let's look at Buckley stature-wise. Like, he is a big, muscly, real muscly. Like, those titties are hanging low type of dude. But he is short, he is stocky, and maybe that can help him to stuff some of the takedowns. But overall, Buckley isn't someone who's just like, you know, he doesn't have the craziest reach advantage or anything like that in this fight, does he? Like, are we really going to say that a guy who was moving down from middleweight after getting slept by Chris Curtis is going to somehow be able to beat Colby? Chris Curtis also has a really good chin, by the way. On the feet, Colby Covington's being underrated. He can throw the pitter-patter shots, he can throw the volume strikes, he can make it look competitive on the feet enough for the judges to be like, oh, well, it's close on the feet, but when it came to the ground, Colby Covington controlled him. That's what's going to happen. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up to reality, guys. Colby Covington's going to get this done. And afterwards, he will be getting a phone call from your boy, Ronald McDonald. We'll be giving him a phone call, and then he'll give him ammunition to, you know, basically save the next 6 months of his career by calling out Ian Gary, doing all that stuff. And I think that's the right next fight to make. The winner of this fight, no matter who it is, whether it's Buckley or whether it's Colby Covington, needs to fight Ian Gary next. That's the next fight to make. I would pray that it's Colby Covington, because I think Colby Covington brings more to the table than Buckley does, in all honesty, in terms of big fights. I think him versus Ian Gary would actually do big numbers in terms of being a co-main event of a pay-per-view, maybe even the main event of like a really, really, really stacked fight night. where it's just like, oh, what an amazing card. And to top it all off, we have Ian Gary versus Colby Covington. Give them a press conference. I want to hear them talk to each other. I hope for this fight we get a press conference, kind of, because you can just imagine the kind of stuff that Colby Covington's going to come out with now that Ronald McDonald has won the election. And that's why the background is what it is, you know. Shout out US of A. And you can see, like, the thing with Colby Covington is he has never taken a fight he didn't think he could win. Now, he's obviously been given title shots. With title shots, you guys just have to fight the guy that's in front of you. But you bet your ass, if Leon Edwards wasn't a champion, there's no way Colby's fighting him. There's no way Colby's fighting Kamaru Usman. One of the reasons he's taking this fight is probably because he thinks he has a good chance to win it. Now, do I think this is a free layup for Colby Covington? Nope. I acknowledge the power of Joaquin Buckley, but I have a hard time believing a guy who was fringe top 15 in the middleweight division is going to come down to welterweight and beat Colby Covington. I understand he's old, but I don't think this is the level he's stooped to so far. I think the JDMs of the division, I think the Ian Garys of the division, I think the Shafkats of the division can probably beat Colby at this point. But Buckley? You know, there's Buckley? You think Buckley's gonna beat him? The standards can't be that low, surely. Like, look at Wonderboy. I understand he beat Wonderboy, but Wonderboy wasn't exactly setting the world ablaze. He was losing pretty comfortably to anyone that would decide to go for a takedown on him. Kevin Holland probably could have won that fight if he mixed in the takedowns, but he didn't. The guy with the black belt and this is going with the size advantage and the black belt is not going for takedowns against Wonderboy. How stupid do you have to be? If anything, I think Colby Covington would ragdoll Kevin Holland. Maybe that's a fight he can look for afterwards. If by any chance the sun fades over into a solar eclipse and then out of nowhere while Colby Covington's blind, only he can see this eclipse, Joaquin Buckley catches him with the left hand. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Colby Covington is always a defense-first fighter. He does mix in his striking to basically just keep it competitive on the feet. So when he mixes in his takedowns, the judges can be like, okay, so it was close. Colby was kind of losing, but then the takedowns happen. And remember, in his last fight, he did kind of hurt his leg or foot or broke it or something. I guess Edwards, I would say that's a pretty good reason as to why he would be able to mix in the takedowns. Right? Like, there was something very glaring about that fight where he was clearly smaller than Leon. I think it's Buckley. He ain't that much smaller. He's way less jacked, don't get me wrong. Far more soy boy bodied. But overall, Buckley? You know what I mean? Like, it's Buckley. It's Joaquin Buckley. I'll keep saying the word so it's normalized to you guys. Buckley, Buckley, Buckley. Joaquin Buckley. He ain't beating Colby Chaos Covington. He just ain't gonna happen. Colby Covington's gonna outvolume. Well, I think he probably outvolumes him, to be honest. But again, Buckley is a bit of a dog. I saw him have a fight. Listen, Colby's gotta be careful here. He's gotta mix in his takedowns carefully. He can't just be running in, just going boop, 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 you know, those like little stupid strikes that he throws and then just shooting in and down. He could get caught with an uppercut. Anything can happen in this fight, obviously. But if you had to decide with one, who has the better path of winning? Is it Colby grinding out Buckley, or is it Buckley catching him and Colby not being able to recover and all of a sudden, oh my god, he's finished? What have we actually seen before happen? And even when Buckley, listen, Colby Covington has absolutely no power in his hands. Pillow-fisted Colby Covington. He's got the hands of America because they're soft as hell. But honestly, I just don't see it. I can't see it. Like, I get it. He's pillow-fisted. He won't be able to catch Buckley like Chris Curtis did. He doesn't have that threat of like that clean striking where Wonderboy can just outvolume you and potentially catch you with like a really swift head kick or, you know. But he does have the volume. He has the cardio. I'm yet to see that go. It's in Tampa. He will get a hero's welcome back. Especially if he comes out to the Kurt Angle theme song with the flag draped over, with the MAGA hat. You know, Tampa will be into it. Home turf advantage. I think Colby's got this. Choo choo. The Colby train will continue to slowly stop at, you know, stop every 10 minutes. Because he's not fighting very often. But the pick is still going to be Colby Covington. I just still can't see Buckley just chinning Colby. Maybe it's just the fact that I've always seen Colby recover. Or the fact that I don't think Buckley's power is that much of an outlier in the division. The pick's going to be Colby. I don't think the takedown from Buckley is going to work. That's been a big factor in his success recently. Not against Colby. Colby will get this done. That's the pick. And that's where the money's going. $125 on Colby Covington to beat Joaquin Buckley. Like and subscribe. I'm at 145 subscribers. We need to get to 200 by UFC 311. Subscribe.